Okay guys, so we all want to be brilliant, okay? And we all strive to be brilliant, but what does that mean really? And how do we get there? In this episode of Coach Aidan, I will break that all down for you. Usual, please like, subscribe, follow. This week's topic of being brilliant was brought to you by a quote from Jennifer Love Hewitt. Wasn't expecting that, were you? Neither was I. You see, I was watching the Betty White documentary. I love Betty White, okay? I always like to tell people, listen, I was raised by some of the toughest women in the world, my single grandmother and the Golden Girls, okay? So I know how to fight for my Barbies. Thank you for being a friend, bitch, Pop. You're a pal and a confidant, Pop. I'm ready. But here's the thing about Betty. When she worked first in television production in 1940s, they didn't really have a crew. They kind of had to figure out how to shoot and how to set up lights and audio all by themselves. They kind of had to figure it out, play all the roles. So because of that experience, when she became a television show host in the 1950s, she knew exactly what she was doing. And she produced a wonderful show, a funny show. She had great timing. She was hiring people who were Black before it was popular to do so. She was always kind, and she really was a leader in that field. And Jennifer Love Hewitt said something really interesting as it relates to Betty White's television show in her 1950s. She said, well, in the 40s, she had a lot of experience working hands-on in the world of production. And so Betty White really knew how to take all that she had and make it brilliant. When I heard her, Jennifer Love Hewitt, say that, I got teary-eyed. Betty White knew how to take all that she had and make it brilliant. Okay, first of all, I did not expect that Jennifer Love Hewitt in my lifetime would say something that would make me want to cry, okay? I mean, I loved her in I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I still know what you did last summer. Because it is so true about life. I'm gonna jump to a story for a second. You know, I had this one guy that I dated who was so sweet and kind and a gentle soul, and he was really a good person at heart. In the areas in which he doesn't have a lot of insecurity eating away at him, he really did shine. He was a good parent, he was a good worker, really wonderful in a lot of regards. As a relationship partner, he was difficult. Okay, he was bisexual, and he wasn't honest about his feelings about men, and so his wife found out, and as a result, they broke up, and so he had a lot of guilt and insecurity about being a bisexual guy. He also was not open, and was not out of the closet with anyone, and so there was that issue, and he had a lot of shame about being with me. So, as it relates to being a partner in a relationship, that for me, his good heart couldn't shine through because it was muddled by all the insecurities that he was feeling. I learned from having that relationship, a person can have a heart of gold, but if they don't actually allow it to shine through, it's not really worth anything. It's kind of like having the biggest, fanciest TV in the world in a house that is full of junk. The boxes, empty cardboard boxes, are piled up so high in front of the television that you can't even see the fancy TV. It's kind of like that. What does this have to do with what Jennifer Love Hewitt said? Listen, if you don't take all that you have and make it brilliant and honor it for what you have, all you are left with is things. Just all that you have. Clutter, clutter, clutter. It is your job to take what you have, honor it, and allow it to shine through. Let me tell you a story that gives a good example of this. You know, I had a eating issues for a really long time. I have a tendency to think I'm overweight, and so for like 20 years I always wore pants that were way too big, like straight from the 90s, blocky, white, faded, just flat jeans on the front. It was until a good friend of mine, Mikey Scott, thank you Mikey, stopped me one day and said, "Aidan, why do you wear those blocky jeans?" And I couldn't answer him. I was like, "I think I'm chubby. I think he's like, "You're crazy." He was much nicer about it. He was like, "Maybe you," I know what he meant. He meant I'm crazy. But he was like, "Maybe you should try these jeans. I'm gonna bring you a pair and you try them." So he brought me these skinny jeans, and it was uncomfortable at first, but I put them on, and I put them on in front of these gay boys that I hang out with, you know, the boys. There was like 5 or 6 of us on a text chain that text each other all the time, and actually one of the members, and we spend most of our time teaching one of the members about sex, because he asks questions like, "What's a top or bottom?" and "What's a shower shot?" And if you don't know what a shower shot is, you should look it up. But anyway, I put on these jeans and it accentuated my awesome calves. I used to do ballet, so my calves are like, and my thighs are also like, bam. And the boys were shocked. They were like, "You look so good in those jeans. Why were you not wearing that?" You have to take what you have and allow it to shine through in order to honor your own brilliance. I think it's the same with everything else. To what degree are you allowing everything you have to shine through? To what degree are you honoring all that you were given? To what degree do you feel worthy of letting all of that shine through? Because I could have these fantastic legs, but until I am willing to show that, it really are legs under big blocky 90s jeans. As with any tip I like to give on here, it really does come down to this. You gotta take a moment to look inside you and examine what in you is brilliant. What works for you? What doesn't work for you? Things that don't work for you, you can make adjustments so that you can create and cultivate the person that you would like to be, one piece at a time. And if you have a special talent, you let that shine through. It's like gold. And for everybody, the stuff that they have inside of them might be very different looking. Like, as it relates to the boys in our group, each one of us brings a special something to the table. Right? We have a member who is very energetic and youthful and very fun to be around, very spunky. We have a person who is always super nice and kind and always willing to help out. We have a person who is very entrepreneurial minded and production minded and always wants to help people with their careers. We have somebody who's really dedicated to ideas of social change, and another person who is very steady Eddie, can think reasonably, while all the rest of us are going, "Wah!" Voice of reason, calming force. Each of those members of my boys, I would say, have such value that they bring to the table. But those items that they bring to the table can only be appreciated to the extent that they're willing to place it on the table. And so what I would love is for everybody to take a look inside and see what areas that they feel they are strong in and what they have to offer the world, and let that come through. Let the rest of us enjoy your bright light. Value yourself, and that is how you can be brilliant, okay? So for more on this, I want you to check out my video on You Must Fight to See Your Own Value, okay? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. Bye.